Dear students, welcome to Swayam SHIKSHAA. Now, this is an important program for mains. We call it as the Mains Maniac series. The importance of the program is basically we are going to brainstorm questions and content, and each video will generally not be more than 6 to 7 minutes. Now, what is the objective of this particular program? The main objective of this program is, if at all a question comes up in an exam, how do we write our introductions? How do we brainstorm points? How do we collect facts? And how do we bring in conclusion? Okay, so in 7.5 to 8 minutes, writing a particular answer in detail is very difficult. And therefore, when we have the fodder or when we have the bullet points, our job becomes easy. This is the main objective of this Mains Maniac program. So welcome to this program, and this is our first video in this series. And the snapshots or the slides of the flowcharts will be posted in our Telegram channel, that is Swayam SHIKSHAA Telegram channel, from where you can download the flowcharts as well. Now let's start away with the video. Now the question is here: the COVID-19 pandemic accelerated class inequalities and poverty in India. Comment. Of course, this is an Indian society question. Now for such questions, basically, we can start off our introduction saying that pandemic in a society will put forth weaknesses which are already there, or it will expose weaknesses in the society, especially in developing countries which are more vulnerable. Why developing countries are more vulnerable is mainly because of informal economy. So this is how I can write a small introduction for such questions, where COVID-like pandemics can expose weaknesses in a society which is clearly visible in developing economies or developing countries which are more vulnerable due to informal economy. So this is how you can write a short introduction for such questions. And then when I'm talking about most vulnerable here, so when I'm talking about most vulnerable, what are the key words here? So who are the most vulnerable sections? Basically, we have to identify. So one is children, okay, and then we have women. Okay, then we have poor people or disabled, displaced migrants when it comes to COVID pandemic, or refugees. So these people are, or these entities are the most vulnerable sections basically. So we'll think of inequalities from this particular context. Then comes the importance of facts here. So when we are writing our mains, some collection of facts becomes important. Why? Because, for example, when I have to talk about something like poverty or the poor, so ILO report clearly says that 400 million are sliding into poverty. Okay, or we can say 88 million to around 115 million have gone into extreme poverty as defined by World Bank. So these facts again become very important. So for any question of Indian society or any other topic. Similarly, when we talk about health inequalities, in fact, with respect to in comparison to health or education. So for example, inequalities in learning, when it comes to inequalities in learning, we talk about ASER report, Annual Status of Education report, which clearly says that 1/3 of India's children have only access to online education. That means it's only 1/3 of India's children have access to online education. That is, it's creating an inequality with respect to children, or in fact with respect to learning capabilities now. Then comes inequalities against women. So when it comes to women, one is women can be seen as the first healthcare responders. Okay, so this has created problem. One is double burden of work, okay, and child care, etc. Then domestic violence, etc. So all this. Then we can talk about some reports like Oxfam report here, 2019. Okay, so it clearly says richest 1% hold 4 times more than 70% of the country. And we could easily see that billionaires have become richer during the COVID pandemic. So inequalities. Okay, so quoting Oxfam report becomes very important. Then inequalities due to nature of jobs. That means those who are engaged, especially migrant workers, or those who are engaged in gig economy, or we can say migrant workers or daily wage laborers, etc. So they are affected more during pandemics. And then comes the CMI report, which clearly says job loss approximately up to 140 million. So now what we have to observe, the objective of the program here is getting some facts very fast and what to write and being very specific with respect to our introductions, etc. So this is the objective of the mains Maniac program, and I hope you have understood. And every day we are going to come up with one video on this mains Maniac program, and do subscribe to our YouTube channel, and for these flowcharts please do subscribe to our Telegram channel. Signing off. Thank you.